Hello, it's Phillip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers. Got an interesting book here. World Copyright Law. This is it. Very heavy. Nice brown cover. Nice blue flyer here, and here's my actual review on Flickr. Now, I've given it the title on the internet of A Sterling Work on Copyright. Obviously that's a play on words, because Professor J.A.L. Sterling has produced an excellent work here. He's from Queen Mary Intellectual Property Research Institute and a barrister, and is a long-standing and well-known international expert in copyright law. So he's just the right guy to produce this very heavy but very important work. He's produced here what has been described rightly as the ultimate authoritative and comparative analysis of this often contentious subject, which of course is very much in the legal news today. He gives the book the title World Copyright Law, which we've got here, and then there's a subtitle after, which includes the following, which tells you what this book is about. It covers protection of authors' works, performances, like this one here that I'm doing, phonograms, films, video, broadcasts, and published editions in national, international and regional law. He also adds, again at the front of the book, that the work has a glossary of legal and technical terms, very, very helpful of course in copyright, and states a reference list of copyright and related rights laws throughout the world, because this is a global matter. Well, that should be enough for getting on with in what is actually 1700 pages. Very much the standard format for Sweet and Maxwell again, with numbered paragraphs on the sides. You've got a huge amount of information at the front to try and work your way through. It's actually a very readable book. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be much heavier than it actually is. Obviously it's heavy in weight, but it's covering an awful lot of stuff. And at the back you've got a lot of detailed information and lists and various other things which are sort of laid out at the back, obviously with a very useful bibliography and index. What he's done here is, as I say, it's a substantive analysis of copyright law on a regional, national and global scale, and he's placing emphasis throughout on the international dimension, as well as the intriguing historical perspective which comes through, which is both topical and appropriate, because we're in this sort of age where this type of law and this area of activity is very much to the forefront. So it's well worth quoting his remarks on the global reach of copyright law in the preface to this current third edition, which came out at the end of 2008. He says, quote, "As national barriers disappear, distinctions between national systems become anomalous, and the need to adopt common approaches increases. In the past, writing on national copyright laws has in general been confined to the particular national law under consideration, with occasional references to other systems. Now, the whole emphasis must change to one of international consideration of the problems posed by current technological developments." And that really says it all, because it actually interferes, if you like, with every aspect of what we do, because it's not just about copyright, this business of the technological developments. Data protection, IP, you name it, it's there. And when we're talking about reputation, we're talking about persona and image, this is your book, because it tells you where it's at. So there you have it. The mindset with which the copyright law was studied as a particular area of law, obviously we now call it copyright laws, and applied in the past, has got to change. Out of the local sort of parochial stuff, the regional outlook of the past, and into very much more the global perspective which is necessary for the protection of IP in the 21st century, with obviously the internet. With all this in mind then, the free online update service from Sweet and Maxwell, which accompanies this book, is actually of a great assistance in my view, and very much in keeping now with what publishers are doing across the board. Sterling points out, in fact, here in this fast-moving area of law, a lot of law reports, as you well know, he says that it's now of prime juridical, economic and indeed political significance, this area of course, following the three new developments since the 1970s. That's the growth of piracy, the advent of satellite communication and the advent of the internet. And this permits, of course, public access to and copying and distribution of protected material on a massive scale. And it's something, of course, which performers are particularly concerned about. Now, the third edition provides practitioners and academics alike with detailed commentary on international copyright and related rights laws, and the comparative analysis of the laws in national, international and regional standards for protection, because obviously one of the areas is very much the protection element, because the remedies element is going to be a lot more difficult. It's completely up to date as of July 2008. There'll be some more updates the following July this year, it's 2009, and the new edition therefore will provide a wealth of new material on things like the implications of the WIPO discussions on world copyright law and the practical aspects, for example, of recent United States of America and European Union copyright developments. There are a lot of things that are included in this book. It's well worth looking at. As I say, it's a very heavy book, but it is the ultimate statement of the law as I see it. So what we've got here is it's readable, it's insightful, and as well as that, it's also scholarly and authoritative. So his work remains, in my view, a boon to researchers, with its tables of cases at the front, the international treaties, the conventions and the agreements which are given, all the European stuff, I have to put it that way, but that's what it is, all that stuff's there, the national laws, the abbreviations, the website addresses, and the very detailed bibliography, which is a must for anyone certainly studying this subject, let alone practicing it. So I think it's a remarkable and sterling work, hence the pun, and it's something you can't perform without. So get it today. Thank you very much, JAL Sterling, and I'd love to know what JAL stands for. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.